Good morning. Chris O'Hara in the studio today to answer your legal questions. 436-1212. If you have a legal question you'd like answered, we'll make sure we get right to it. Well, good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in today.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, we were talking before we came back from break, and my question to you was, what's one of the most common questions you get on a regular basis? You know, and you had an interesting, very simple question that you get almost every day.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, the most common thing that we get when in any situation, whether it be a civil, whether it be a criminal case, is just simply, what do I do? You know, most people, when they've either been charged with a crime or obviously served with a divorce, whatever the matter may be, most people haven't been involved in that situation before. You know, you get the document or you get the charge or you get the, even if it's a traffic citation, you get the citation. Well, what do I do? And you know, initially, the most important thing, obviously, is to contact an attorney. But you don't want to panic. Obviously, at that point, it's either an allegation, or if it's a civil suit, it's a, you know, at that point, they're still allegations, but it's of a monetary nature. If it's a criminal suit, it's an allegation as to whether or not you've committed a crime. That doesn't mean you've done it. It doesn't mean you owe the money. It doesn't mean the divorce is final. It just means at that point you've been served notice, and this is obviously what they're alleging happened, or alleging that they want. So the most important thing at that point, obviously, is not to panic, to seek an attorney, and they'll tell you obviously they'll tell you then what your legal options are. And in many cases, that's what an attorney's there for. And you know, people are always, I think, hesitant and always scared initially to go talk to an attorney, because obviously some people think bad things about attorneys, but most of the time, attorneys are there to help people, to guide you through the process, tell you what your legal options are, and they'll do whatever they can at that point to get you to where you want to be.
Okay. And you know the law most better than a lot of other people, and I'm sure, you know, folks that do give you a call, a lot of times when you do get that piece of paper or, you know, traffic violation in the mail, it almost feels like a conviction, even though, like you said, it's not. Yeah, it's an allegation.
It is an allegation, and you know, I've had a judge in Wichita tell me one time, you know, there are no small cases. And that's true, because it depends, whatever person it may be. You know, if you've never had a traffic citation before, to you, the traffic citation is or speeding ticket's the biggest thing in the world.
Okay.
You know, at that point. You know, other people, obviously, they get themselves in more dire situations when they've been charged with a felony, or, you know, and then, you know, for others, it's a civil case, it's a divorce. But that's why you need to seek the help of an attorney, because we know the rules of what you need to go through. We know what it is that we can do to help you. But it's not a time to panic. It's like anything else. If you're injured, you go see a doctor, and that's why when you ask what is the most common question you hear, it's what do I do at this point? Because you don't know, because you're not used to going through that.
No, not at all. Put a few minds at home out there at ease this morning. Thank you so much, Chris. You know, something we talked about too is the concealed carry licenses. You were telling me that sometimes people can get denied a concealed carry license even if you don't have a felony on your record.
Well, and that's true. I mean, there's obviously, with the conceal and carry, there's circumstances as to where the Attorney General's office can deny a particular person, based on certain circumstances, deny you the license, the ability to conceal and carry. There is an appeal process that you can go through, and it may not even just particularly be for a felony the reason that you get denied. I mean, obviously, there's certain misdemeanors, domestic violence cases, and certain other offenses where you've been arrested for that they may deem at that point that they're not going to give that to you. There is an appeal process that you can go through in order to try to get that, and sometimes with some of these older situations or older convictions or arrests, there's things that attorneys can do to clear up your background in order to help you get that license.
Okay, well, good information, especially as we did just report on that story with the Wichita City Council voting on more places where you can take a concealed carry weapon. Thank you, Chris. Good to see you again.
Thanks again.
Have a good week.
You too.